Today's episode is supported by Liberty Magic, Pittsburgh's premier speakeasy theater dedicated to the art of elevating magic. They're presenting Jared Kopf in the show We Phantom Figures. Jared is an absolute pro with card tricks, and this show is full of intimate magic that really draws you in and just refuses to let go. You may have actually seen Jared's work already. He's done practical effects for a ton of movies and TV shows like Red Thread, A Ghost Story, and Now You See Me, Now You Don't. So you're not going to want to miss your chance to see his tricks up close and in person. We Phantom Figures runs from May 7th to the 17th. Get your tickets at trustarts.org/magic before they disappear.
CityCast Pittsburgh is supported today by the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh. Almost 50% of women and men in the United States have experienced emotional abuse by an intimate partner. And if you are seeking support, the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh is here for you. Last year, they served more than 8,000 people impacted by domestic violence. You can call their hotline, join a support group, even find a place for emergency shelter. For more information on how to support them and their work, visit wcspittsburgh.org. This is CityCast Pittsburgh. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about.
Executive producer Mallory Falk here. I am with local journalist and CityCast Pittsburgh contributor Aakanksha Agarwal. Aakanksha, if you could open any type of restaurant in Pittsburgh, what would it be? Like, what type of cuisine or what type of vibe are we missing in our city?
This one is easy because my husband and I talk about it practically every night. I would love to see more regional Indian food. I would love to see a Bengali cafe, Bengal is the part of India I'm from, or a nice Hyderabadi cafe, a Gujarati farsan shop. I would love to see a space where, Indian food is paired with wines and cocktails. Indian restaurants here are not serving drinks. So that's something I would love to see. I would really love to see a late night chai spot, not chai latte, but a chai spot where you can just, sit for hours, enjoy conversations, enjoy steaming cups of masala chai.
Do you have a name for any of these spots if you were to open one yourself?
Not yet.
Unfortunately, we don't have spots like that to recommend on the show today, but you are here to talk about some other new restaurants in Pittsburgh. You just wrote up a whole list for Next Pittsburgh about new spots in town to try out. Really excited to talk to you about those. But before we get into the show, a reminder that we are in the final 2 days of CityCast Pittsburgh's spring membership campaign. We are so grateful to everyone who's supported us so far. We already have almost 40 new neighbors. So welcome to our new neighbors. Thank you for joining. But I'm going to be honest, we've still got a ways to go to reach our goal because we are trying to reach 90 new members by the end of this campaign. So you can help us get there by signing up at membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. And when you become a neighbor, you get tons of great perks like invites to exclusive members-only events and special bonus content on our Friday roundups. But you're also helping ensure that CityCast Pittsburgh can stick around, can keep bringing you conversations about everything from, the new restaurants in town like we're talking about today, to the latest debates in City Hall, to extended interviews with our city and county leaders like our mayor and our county executive, where we're not just giving you the sound bites, where we're letting officials talk at length and really dig into the big issues facing Pittsburgh and Allegheny County.
If the last few months have taught us anything, it's that we should really create opportunities for our local news outlets to stick around. And I love CityCast Pittsburgh because it's such an approachable format, right? You can walk, you can be cooking, you can be meal prepping, and get your news in a really fun and approachable format. And at the same time, it's not lightweight. It's still fact-checked. It's still, deeply reported journalism.
I'm so happy to hear you say that because that's what we really are trying to do. We want to bring you the news. We want to bring you the local debates in a way that's accessible and conversational, and where you can feel like as you're washing your dishes, walking the dog, whatever the chore is, become a little bit smarter about the city.
The chore feel like a little treat.
That's now our official campaign slogan. We make your chore feel like a treat.
I love that.
So you can sign up to become a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor for $10 a month or $100 a year at membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. We'll also have a link in our show notes. And Aakanksha, I decided to do a little price comparison to some of the places that we're going to be discussing on today's show.
Yes.
So $10 is less than a cocktail at the new Speakeasy in the Strip District. It is less than a mac and cheese bowl at a new fried chicken joint downtown. And it is also less than a pizza at a new pizza shop in Brighton Heights.
It's a steal. It's a steal, and it's the best way to get your news every single day.
Yes. So, if you find that every month our content is at least as nourishing as a pizza or a fried chicken sandwich, and that you get as much value out of us as a fancy cocktail, then become a neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. Okay, now we can get into some of these recommendations of new places to try around town. I want to start with some spots, Aakanksha, that I know you're excited about because of the people behind them, like places that are being led by really experienced chefs or bakers who've spent years refining their skills and really know what they're doing. So tell me about some of these spots where we have sort of known people starting them up.
Titusz in Lawrenceville, it's on Butler Street in Lawrenceville, might be the hottest reservation in town right now, and not without reason. It's bringing Austrian food and Hungarian food side by side to Pittsburgh, and it's not really a combination you see all that often.
Mm-hmm.
Chef Chila Thakre was fascinating to talk to because she's very thoughtful about how the cuisines interact, how they overlap with each other. Austrian food is a little more lighter, fresher. There are things like Liptauer cheese. There are things like pickled vegetables, while Hungarian food is like richer and meat heavy. She said chicken paprikash was one of the most defining Hungarian items of the menu. And, this is a chef who spent years refining her technique from, Pittsburgh's most celebrated kitchens, Bar Marco, Legume Bistro, Fetfisk. So she is really process oriented, and I think that is showing up in the food already. They are booked out. It is really difficult to get a reservation there.
I somehow managed to snag one for the end of this month. I cannot wait. I really have my eye on the cheese dumpling in charred leek and sauerkraut broth. This overall seems like a very sauerkraut heavy menu, which I am all about.
You should try this chilled sour cherry soup Chila was talking about. She said when the sour cherry season hits, the kitchen gets like bushels and bushels of sour cherries, and it feels like they've all been out of a murder scene.
But in an enticing way, I guess.
In an enticing way, like yummy. The other one I'm really excited about is Confections by Casey Renee. This is another one where you can really feel the years and years of experience of the pastry chef. Casey is a former Ace Hotel pastry chef and a 2 times James Beard semifinalist.
Pretty impressive.
Right. And the bakery just opened in Regent Square last month. And I like that it feels approachable, and yet it's coming from a place of like super high technique. And I never thought I would be this emotionally involved or this emotionally invested in a scone program. But here we are. They do orange creamsicle scones. They do honey cornbread scones. I don't think I need to talk more about the scones. But it sounds like the perfect Frick Park morning to me. Grab a couple of scones, get a coffee, get a couple of pastries, and go for a nice walk at Spring.
That sounds really ideal. I always love when you compare a pastry or some kind of breakfast item with like a nice stroll through the park. So you've just planned everybody's weekend agendas for them.
I love that.
So moving on, there are a couple of places I'm really excited to try because they're serving up food from places with really distinctive cuisine. These also happen to be places where I've lived or spent a lot of time. So selfishly, I am very excited. I'm talking about New Orleans and New Mexico. I am really thrilled at the prospect of being able to get a green chili burger or some legit jambalaya here in Pittsburgh because that hasn't always been easy. So let's start with the New Orleans spot. Tell me about this new place, Roux Orleans.
It's a little tucked away on Preble Avenue on the north side. And I love the idea because it feels like it's really rooted in actual New Orleans comfort food instead of like trying to reinvent the wheel or elevating it. So we are talking dark roux, gumbo, jambalaya, shrimp po' boys, red beans and rice. I also love places that run on when it's gone energy, because it shows that someone is cooking with intention rather than just mass production of food or just cooking in vast quantities.
Yeah, and I saw that the chef behind this spot, Michael Barnes, is actually from New Orleans, from the Third Ward. So this is food that he really knows. This isn't someone who's just kind of randomly trying their hand at these dishes.
And I'm so excited to try it. And honestly, I think the North Side is getting like a new wave of really exciting restaurants. Speaking of another place on the North Side, the Eastman is really is kind of an funny concept on paper because it combines New Mexican food with Buffalo bar food. And have you lived in Buffalo too? Remind me.
I have not lived in Buffalo. My husband is from New Mexico, so we spent a lot of time there. And I'm really having a hard time wrapping my head around how you combine these two types of cuisine. So please tell me more about this menu.
There is some method to this madness. The Eastman took over the old Fat Cat space on East Ohio Street. The kitchen is led by Chris Acosta, who brings in these bold New Mexican flavors. Green chilies, carne asada, smoky, spice-forward dishes. And suddenly the menu kind of like veers into buffalo comfort food territory, pizza logs, chicken wings, beef on weck. So it's not random. It's actually personal because co-owner Michael Schmidt, who recently also became a dad, they literally have like, I think, a 2 or 3 month old baby.
Wow. 2 babies launching into the world at once.
Yes. And, he is from Buffalo. So those dishes are genuinely meaningful to him. And, Chris Acosta's Mexican cooking already had a following. So instead of feeling like random fusion, it feels two people bringing together pieces of their backgrounds. I see that in Titusz. I see that in Roux Orleans. I see that in Confections by Casey Renee. It's just people cooking from their backgrounds, people cooking what they're really wanting to cook. And it also feels like the dining scene or diners are expanding their mindset by trying these new spots.
Looking at the menu at the Eastman, it seems like sort of the signature thing they're putting on a lot of these dishes to combine these two food cultures is a green chili blue cheese queso, which is helping me like start to understand how you can be combining these flavors and these types of food. And I am all about that. I can't wait to try that. Today's show is brought to you by Bike Pittsburgh. May is National Bike Month, which means it's the perfect time to dust off your bike and go for some spring rides, or try biking through the city for the first time. Bike Pittsburgh is a local nonprofit in support of better biking and walking, and they are hosting some really fun events this month to make biking around town even more enticing and show off why we're such a great biking city. There's Bike to Work Day on May 14th, where you can grab a free coffee and some breakfast treats on your morning commute, or roll into a happy hour later in the day. And there's also the Spring Bike Picnic on May 30th. You hop on your bike at the Frick Environmental Center, go for a tour down some of the city's best bike lanes, and then come back for an outdoor picnic with hot dogs and lawn games. Personally, I love biking around Pittsburgh. It's my preferred mode of transportation, and I'm all about getting some extra perks while I'm out and about on 2 wheels. If this also sounds like your jam, visit bikepgh.org for the full Bike Month schedule and follow @bikepgh on social media. Today's show is brought to you by Union Project. Their Mother of All Pottery sales is coming up on May 9th. This event features stunning ceramic artwork for sale from over 40 ceramic artists. I go to this sale every year, and I'm always amazed by how many different styles are on display. Some of the artwork is very intricate and delicate looking. Some of it's really funky, or even a little creepy, but in the best possible way. I've seen vases, mugs, little jewelry dishes, and snack plates. It is the perfect place to find a gift for a loved one or for yourself. Plus, there's clay demos for all ages and food trucks. The event is free from 11 to 4, or you can get early bird tickets for $20 and shop before everyone else from 10 to 11. Don't miss the Mother of All Pottery sales and get your early bird tickets at unionproject.org.
Hi there, it's Megan, host of CityCast Pittsburgh. I want to tell you about something that we just added for our CityCast Pittsburgh neighbors, our podcast listeners, that I am so excited about. So every Friday, we do our roundup show. It's the news you need from the week, a little bit of opinion, a whole lot of news and analysis, and trying to connect the dots between all kinds of disparate things that happened, but definitely affect your life. So starting a few weeks ago, after that regular episode wraps, neighbors now get access to an exclusive bonus segment in a special members-only ad-free feed. So not only do you not get the other ads, you also get this bonus other thing, more of the show that you love. This is something that Mallory, Sophia, and I have wanted to do for actual years, so some of it is hot gossip. Some of it is the stuff we genuinely tell our friends about how the city works. It's our hot tips, our hot takes. There are lots of things we think and know about living in Pittsburgh that we don't always put into the microphone. However, yins are now our neighbors. And what is a neighbor for if not to spill the good tea? This is all for listeners who really want to dig deep into Pittsburgh with me and the rest of our CityCast Pittsburgh team. If that is you, we hope you will consider becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor. You'll get this Friday bonus segment, ad-free listening all week long, invites to members-only events, and sometimes nice merch, like 412 Day when we gave out hats to any of our members who came by our booth. You also get a weekly preview of the best things happening around the city and more. It's just $10 a month or $100 a year, and it all goes directly towards supporting our tiny, scrappy little team. We are locals. We are literally your neighbors. You have sometimes caught us out at Giant Eagle and clocked our voices from afar. We kind of love it. We love making something that you listen to every day. We hope you'll read more. We hope you'll consider becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor. You can find all the details at membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. That's membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. And neighbors, I will see y'all in the bonus segment.
Okay, we are back. And before we hit you up with more restaurant recommendations, one more reminder that we're in our spring membership campaign. I want to quickly talk up one of the perks that you get when you become a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor, which is that you get to share shout outs to your favorite spots around town that we will then talk about on the show and in our newsletter. We call them neighbor shout outs. So if you have a restaurant you really love, if you have a dish you really love, if you want to tell everybody they got to try this green chili, blue cheese queso, this is your opportunity to let all of CityCast Pittsburgh's listeners and readers know about these spots as well, know about your favorites, turn them on to the places that you love and that you want to get more local support. So you can do that. You can become a member and share your shout outs at membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. Think of it almost like you're doing marketing for your favorite local spot for a much lower price point, $10 a month, than most ad campaigns cost.
Your favorite spots could really use the marketing right now. While reporting the story, one thing I heard over and over again was that a lot of our local restaurants, not just these new ones, but just a lot of our old favorites too, they really expected the NFL draft to bring this huge wave of business to them. And for a lot of places that were directly outside the draft footprint, that never materialized. A lot of these places stocked extra inventory, they hired extra staff, some of them even expanded their patios. Forget getting more business, a lot of these places were slower than normal because it's regular customers like you and me that keep the lights on. And a lot of the regular customers stayed away because they were just afraid of the chaos on the roads and just traffic, and the roads were clear.
People heeded the warnings, but it ended up hurting local businesses.
Heeded the warnings a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a good time to join CityCast, become a neighbor. This is a good time to go support your favorite local restaurants or try one of these new restaurants. Go out on a Tuesday night, get an extra glass of wine, get the extra dessert. It'll help you. It'll help them.
Yes, help keep our beloved, long-standing institutions around and also help make sure that these new spots get off to a good start. We want them around so they can keep experimenting, keep trying out new food combinations, and also keep trying out new drinks. Aakanksha, I know you also wrote about some new places that are great for grabbing a fun drink.
Yes, in a lot of places in Pittsburgh, drinks are a priority. The atmosphere is a priority. Take View Carré. It's probably the most theatrical of all, it's a hidden speakeasy in Sea Monkey in the Strip. And they're doing these really dramatic cocktails with literal fire involved. Even the food is really maximalist, and they have this dressed up chicken nuggets and fries situation, which honestly sounds perfect to me.
Interesting. How do you dress up nuggets and fries?
I think they put caviar on them, but I'm not 100% sure.
Wow.
Yeah. And speaking of fun places to grab a drink, there's Allegheny City Brewing and Munt's Pizza in Brighton Heights. Munt started as a pop-up with that same limited run energy. When they're out, they're out.
Mm.
And it's really fun because you can grab a beer at Allegheny City Brewing and literally order pizza through a service door. So, your dinner plans are sorted.
I love that. So these are all new spots. It kind of reminds me of going to Two Phrase in Garfield and getting pizza from right next door in SPAC. So it's nice that there's now an option for something similar on the north side.
Another really interesting place is Cocky Scoop in Market Square, which is leaning hard into that fun energy. Fried chicken, smash burgers. Speaking of fun drinks, they have bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Even, the earlier chef-driven concepts that we talked about, like Titusz and the Eastman, are putting a lot of thoughts into their cocktail and bar programs. Titusz has, it's not just generic trendy cocktails. Titusz is focusing hard on Central European wines and spirits. So you're seeing a lot of good Riesling, a lot of good Gruner Veltliner, Hungarian bitter liquors, Austrian vermouths. Really, a really interesting beverage menu. And the Eastman has rotating draft beers, classic cocktails, Iron City tall boys, house-made ginger beers, seasonal shrubs. And both places have a lot of interesting stuff in terms of non-alcoholic drinks as well, which you don't see so much of.
It does seem like more and more places are trying to be thoughtful about their NA options, but then there are also places where the mocktail is just like a lemonade. And so I'm always happy when there's a place that steps it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we have been talking about a lot of great openings, but we cannot end the show without pouring one out for a closing, which is the famous, beloved Hemingway's in Oakland. This is a bar that generations of Pitt students and alums have been going to for, 43 years, and it just closed down. I actually saw a story in KDKA that said some students skipped their own commencement so that they could get drinks and play cards and order the buffalo chicken dip one last time, which I think says something about how meaningful this spot was for students. Is this a place you ever went to, Aakanksha?
I went there 4 years ago when I just moved to Pittsburgh. I was trying to make it out the last few weeks, but I was not able to. I will hold on to that one memory, that one really cherished memory. What really struck me is just how emotional people were about it closing. Hemingway's was about cheap pictures, trivia nights, sports on TV, gummy worms and drinks, that iconic buffalo chicken dip you just talked about. But really, it was about people celebrating birthdays together, people growing up over there. People skipped their commencement, like you just said, like students skipped commencement just to play cards, get one last round of that buffalo chicken dip. That says everything it needs to say about this place. Every city has these places which it kind of becomes an archive of people's 20s. And I think that was Hemingway's for Pittsburgh. People's birthdays, celebrations, recovering from breakups, watching games. Pittsburgh's truly lost a gem in it.
Dearly departed will always be in our hearts. Hopefully some of these new spots, I don't think they're going to fill that hole, but there are other spots where you can, if nothing else, bring some cards and get a beer in our great city.
These new spots will never fill the hole that Hemingway left, but you can hold on to these old memories and go make some new ones.
Well, Aakanksha, we will link to your story for Next Pittsburgh in our show notes. You outline even more restaurant openings in there. Thank you so much for telling us about these new spots.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. Thank you so much to all our new neighbors who've joined during our spring membership campaign. If you've been on the fence, now is the time. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh to become a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor for $10 a month or $100 a year. You get to send us neighbor shoutouts and highlight all of your favorite spots around town on the show and in our newsletter. You get that great bonus content on the podcast and ad-free listening. You get to attend exclusive members-only events, and during this campaign, you get that custom Oxford pennant. It's yellow. It says, "I live here on purpose." It's got a cute image of a little cardigan. You can only get this during our spring campaign, so now is the time. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh to sign up and keep this show around for a good long time. We will be back tomorrow with more from around the city. Talk to you then.
Next time, also get an ice cream sandwich from Leona's. That's also right there.
I can personally attest that those ice cream sandwiches are so worth it.
Right?